Interaction methods for people with cognitive impairments employing a social robot. Let's start with the goals. The research question for this study was, what interactions are accepted and may be relevant for people with cognitive impairments employing a social robot? It was first important to specify who the target group is. They were elderly people living in nursing homes who have cognitive impairments. It was also important to specify what social robots were used, as it could have also been an animal-like robot. For this study, Haru was used. Haru is a tabletop social robot developed by the Honda Research Institute in Japan. Let's move on to the methodology. For the theoretical part, a literature review was conducted. The practical part began with 2 focus groups. The focus groups consisted of professionals from the nursing and medical field. We were able to retrieve their opinions regarding an interaction between social robots and the target group. Thus, we were able to retrieve a use case from the results. The use case was Haru just casually speaking with the elderly people, maybe in a community space. This was then implemented in a prototype, which was just the already existing simulation of Haru and a separate software for the speech output. Here you can see an elderly woman in a nursing home participating in the user test with Haru as the validation form. The method that was used for this was the Wizard of Oz method, which means that the moderator controlled the simulation and Haru's behavior. That made it possible for Haru to answer the elderly person appropriately according to the predefined script. Here you can see the screen that the elderly people were seeing. It was the simulation of Haru, and also the screen which we used to control Haru and the speech output. Moving on to the results of the focus group. As there were many results, here are 3 instances that were considered important. First, that the robot should behave more human-like, as normal speech seemed most appropriate and easy to understand. The question of habit is also important, especially people with cognitive impairment may find a social robot odd and new at the beginning, and may need some time to adjust. Lastly, the facial expressions. As people with cognitive impairment often struggle with speech and work a lot with their facial expressions, it is also seemed as important for the robot to recognize them and also express them. Moving on to the user test results. There were 5 participants in total, ranging from the age 81 to 97, with the cognitive states from moderate to severe cognitive decline. Due to technical problems, 1 participant with severe cognitive decline aborted the testing, and another with also severe cognitive decline aborted the interview. 2 of the other participants with severe cognitive decline were the only ones answering Haru and actually having an interaction. The other 2 with moderate cognitive decline, however, did not answer Haru and may have not understood the task. Of the opinions of the participants regarding the interaction, Haru and Haru's facial expressions, it seems mostly neutral to slightly positive, which could be interpreted as a good result for the speech interaction, as it has potential. Though it is important to note that not all of the participants were able to give their opinions, and some may also not have understood what was meant in the interview. Thus, future studies with slightly younger people, newer generations, and less cognitive decline may give more feedback and be beneficial.